again a very wonderful good morning to all my dear kids here. Yesterday I have given you some exercise to solve. I believe you must have tried to solve it. Again the questions are there what I have given you yesterday. Let's try to solve it with me and check your answers. I am solving it for you. It can fulfill. Why I am using fulfill here? Because can is there and can is a modal verb. So when I speak about modal verb, there is a basic rule of English grammar that modal verb is always and is always comes with the base form, that is the first form. So I simply put fulfill. Next, trees attract rain. Why I am using attract? Because it is something related to nature. It is something which is a general truth. And for general truth, I always use my present simple tense and not continuous. General truth. Now I am jumping upon to the third one. Here I am quickly telling you the answers. Reason being, today we are going to start our present perfect tense also. Two we have completed, present simple and present continuous. Now third one we will complete. Let's solve three more sentences. Fertile land turns. Again it is of simple present tense. Why I am telling you this? Because it is a general truth as well as scientific fact. In both sentence number 2 and 3, these are the general truths related to nature as well as you can also call them the scientific fact. Now every year government celebrates. Why I have put celebrates? Because every year, if you see the first use of your present simple tense, every year it is regular action. I have given you an example that regular actions, seasons change at their own time. So what I meant by regular actions, again for the sake of your revision, I am telling you here this, that when something comes after an interval of time, after a fixed interval of time, every year it is a regular action. Every year government is celebrating, not just for the year. So it is regular action. And for regular action, for regular actions, what I use? I use simple present tense. Rainy water washes away the upper part of the soil. Again it is something related to nature, so it is a general truth as well as a scientific fact. Let me write it for you. Now quickly I will tell you about the formulas. It is modal verb. Here let me tell you, it is modal verb, first one. So base form I have put. Another one is trees attract rain. It is general truth as well as scientific fact. When I am telling you this, trees, here I can see my subject is plural, and when my subject is plural, I always use the simple form and not put s or es. Whereas in the next sentence, if you see the subject closely, fertile land, my subject is third person as well as singular. Definitely I will put s or es, it ends with an, so I put as with the use that it is scientific fact. Next year, every year government is my subject here, it is singular and third person, I put s here because it is ending with e, and of course it is a regular action. Now rainy water washes, it ends with sh, o, x, ch, sh, ss and zz. If my verb ends with either one of these, I will choose ES because rainy water, my subject is again singular here. I hope that you have solved this exercise yesterday and most of your answers are correct. If not correct, I have explained it to you with the uses as well as with the formulas that why I have chosen these answers. Now we will do more exercise, but today I want to teach you present perfect tense. Let me tell you quickly what is present perfect tense. So today's we have completed our homework and now we are going to start our class. I hope you are getting the concepts of the tenses. Slowly but gradually you will get to learn this all. Today's topic is present perfect tense. When I say present perfect tense, in the introduction of the tenses I have already told you, but again I am telling you what is present perfect tense. What do we mean by the word perfect? Perfect is something which is complete. For example, if I say he speaks perfect English, or the design is perfect, or the food is perfect. What I meant by the word perfect, you must have heard this word perfect for several times in your life. Perfect means which is 100%, which is complete. So when the action is complete in present, we call it as present perfect. Before jumping upon to the uses of it, I will first explain you the formulas as I had done in the previous two tenses what we have studied. Affirmative sentence formula is subject plus helping or auxiliary verb, that is has or have plus verb third form plus object, and if the adverb is required I can put my adverb. Now has I use with singular subject, whereas have I use with I, plural subjects as well as you. Let's make a sentence here. Subject for subject, I is the subject, I will choose helping verb have or has or have, I will put have. I have third form of verb, go is the first form, went is the second form, and gone is the third form. I have gone to school. Simple formation of the sentence. Now let me take a singular subject for you also. He, I will put has, he has gone to school. Let's jump upon to the next formula. Next formula is negative. Formulas are very important to learn. I hope you are learning it with all the classes. If you are skipping this part and not learning the formula, believe me, you will be in a great loss. So negative sentence, subject plus helping verb, that is has or have plus not plus verb third form plus object. Let's frame a sentence with it. He has not eaten food. Eat, ate, eaten. Eaten is the third form. He is the subject, singular. I put helping verb has and not, because of not, verb third form, eaten I have put, and object here is food. Next is interrogative sentences. It is helping verb, that is has or have plus subject plus verb third form plus object. Let's frame a sentence. Has he eaten food? Of course, with a question mark. Reason being, it is interrogative sentence. Now after interrogative, the next formula which comes, kindly copy it all. That is the reason I am not rubbing it from the board. Interrogative negative. Formula for interrogative negative is helping verb, that is has or have plus subject plus not plus verb third form plus object. Example, has he not eaten food? Next formula which comes for the present perfect tense is WH interrogative. Formula for WH interrogative is WH word plus helping verb, that is has or have plus subject plus verb third form plus object. So why has he eaten food? And the last formula, of course, you know, in all the tenses formulas are going same. So it is WH word interrogative negative. How it works? WH word plus helping verb, that is has or have plus subject plus not plus verb third form plus object. Let's frame a sentence with it. Why has he not eaten food? So guys, these are the formulas of present perfect tense. Now as you have seen that present simple tense has many uses, present continuous tense has less uses. Now let's study our present perfect tense uses. I hope you have copied the formulas so that I can jump upon to the uses of it. So the very first use of present perfect tense is when the action completed in the recent past and has its impact in present. What I meant with it, you have to understand it very carefully. Example, I have already learnt my lessons. One more example I am taking for you so that you will understand it more clearly. I have just cleaned my room. Now, when the action completed in the recent past, this word recent is very important here. What I meant with recent past is that one is past is which has completed, which has gone, the time before the present. One is recent past. What is the importance of this word recent here is, when I say recent, it means just before the present. Maybe half an hour, maybe 2 hours, or maybe 2 days. But not before a year, or not before 6 months, or not before 10 years. Past is which is at a higher distance. Recent past is which is at a near distance. How? Let me tell you. First read it. When the action completed in the recent past and has its impact in present. I am giving you an example, a scenario to understand it. Suppose you called me at your home at 4 o'clock. You called me at your home at 4 o'clock. Understand it, very important and very deep to understand, a very small concept. And at 3:30 it starts the rain, but I have to meet you. So I start my vehicle and I get wet with the rain. My clothes get wet in the rain. When I reached at your home at 4 o'clock, I was wet. So obviously action completed, that I get wet with the rainwater, action has already completed of getting wet in the recent past, but it has its impact when I reach at your home. Or mega timeline, this is 3 o'clock, this is 3:30, this is 4 o'clock. When I am saying it, at 3:30 I started my journey towards your home and it's got rain. Here started rain. I get wet in the duration of this time. This is the time duration and I get wet in this duration. At 4 o'clock the rain stopped. Here the rain is stopped. So action completed at 3:30 of getting wet. 4 o'clock is present time when I reached at your home, but at this 4 o'clock I was wet only because of the action that completed in the recent past. It is recent past. If I get wet yesterday, so definitely it will not impact me at present, but recent past impact is there at 4 o'clock. That is why I said recent word is very important. If the action completed in the recent past, here the action completed in the recent past and has its impact in present, so it has its impact that I am still wet with the rainy water. It has its impact at the present. Then I write the sentence, or I speak or frame the sentence in the present perfect tense. I have written 2 more examples for your help here. I have already learnt my lessons. Suppose I have a test tomorrow and somebody asks me to learn my lessons. What I will say, I have already learnt my lessons. Why I am saying this? Because definitely I have learnt my lessons in the recent past, maybe before 2 hours, maybe before half an hour, and what impacts me at present, that the activity of being learned of the lesson is completed and it has its impact in the present. I have just cleaned my room. I have cleaned my room maybe before 15 minutes, before half an hour or before 2 hours, and its impact at the present is that my room is clean at present. My room is clean because my previous action of cleaning the room has completed in the recent past, and it impacts that the room is clean. So I hope the use is clear to you. Kindly note it down in your notebook for your future reference. Let's write second use of present perfect tense. And before teaching you the second use of present perfect tense, I want to teach you a small topic which is in your course. On the very first day I have told you that your 5 topics basically you will cover, that is tenses, active passive voice, narrations, that is indirect and direct speech, modals, and the last one is clauses. So second use of present perfect tense, before that we need to understand what clauses are, because this use is depend on the clauses. In English basically we have 3 things which we call a group of words. One is sentences, another one is phrase, third one is clauses. When I say a sentence definitely consists of a subject and a verb, and a sentence is a group of words which gives a complete sense by itself. It does not need anything else to give the complete sense. For example, I shall go out. So what does it have? Does it have sense? Complete sense? Yes, it has. Does it have subject, its own subject? Yes, it has. Does it have its own verb? Or in the bracket I am writing predicate. Does it have predicate and verb? Yes, it has. Subject, verb, sense and predicate. A sentence consists of everything. Now if I talk about phrase, so what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words which does not have a complete sense. For example, in a corner. When I say in a corner, this is a group of words and it is making some sense but not the complete sense. Why I am saying some sense? If I write here a in corner, or if I write with a different structure, a corner in, or corner in a. If you see these 3 sentences and the fourth one which is written, in a corner is making some sense, that something is there in a corner. It is making some sense. But what is there in the corner? I don't know. It is making some sense but not the complete sense. Whereas in sentence number 1, 2 and 3, a in corner does not make any sense. A corner in does not. Corner in a does not. These 4 are the groups of words, but in the first group of word I am getting some sense. Here some sense is there but not the complete sense, whereas sentence number 1, 2 and 3 I have no sense at all with the same words which is in a group. So what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words which makes some sense but not the complete sense. So does it make sense? No, it does not make complete sense. Does it has verb? No, it does not have verb. Does it has its own subject? No, it does not have its subject. But still it is a group of words and making some sense. Whereas what the clauses are, there are two kinds of clauses. One is dependent, one is independent. Dependent and another one is independent. So what these two words means? Dependent, which we also call the subordinate clause, because it has to depend on some other independent clause to get its complete meaning. Whereas independent clause we can call also sentence, because it has its own subject, verb, as well as making a complete sense by its own. For example, if I am saying there is a dustbin in a corner. When I say in a corner, it does not have its own subject and its own predicate. Again, it is not a clause. But there is a dustbin. Here, verb is also here, as well as subject is also here, and the complete sense is also here. There is a dustbin. Another thing, in a corner, it is a phrase but not the dependent clause. So, what is dependent clause? Let me write one more sentence for you. When the heat is lessened, when the heat is lessened, I shall go out. Now understand this sentence. This is very important part. This is very important part. Both dependent as well as independent clause has its own subject. Heat is the subject, lessened is the verb, I is the subject, go is the verb. Both have its own subject as well as its own verb or predicate. The second independent clause, I shall go out, is giving me a complete sense by its own. It does not need anything. But if you look at the dependent clause, when the heat is lessened, yes, subject is there, of course, verb is there, but is the complete sense there? No, complete sense is not there. When the heat is lessened, then what? Then should I go out, or should I play, should I sleep? What I will do when the heat is lessened, it is not telling me correctly. It is just telling me when the heat is lessened. Now what I will do after that, I don't know. But here if you see this sentence, it is giving me a complete sense. So complete sense, independent clause can be called a sentence also, whereas dependent clause is not giving me complete sense. Now let's get back here. Sense is there? No, sense is not there. I am talking about dependent clause. Is subject there? Yes, subject there. Is verb there? Yes, verb is also there. Now if you notice the blackboard, in a sentence it gives me all the three things: sense, subject, verb. In phrase it does not give me sense, verb or subject, whereas in the dependent clause it does not give me sense but has its subject and verb. These three: sentence, sense is there, sense is not there, sense is not there. Verb is there, verb is not there, verb is there, and subject is there, subject is not there, subject is there. Now why I am calling it dependent clause? If I combine these two sentences, I am writing here, when the heat is lessened, I shall go out. Now if you read the sentence, when the heat is lessened, I shall go out. Now it is giving me a complete sense, but to get the sense of dependent clause, dependent clause dependent on the independent clause to get its complete sense. If I remove this sentence, when the heat is lessened, if I just write this, it needs this one to get its complete sense. Now it is called dependent because it dependent on the independent clause to get its complete meaning. I hope the concept is clear. If not clear, you can watch the video again, particularly with the clause part, so that you would understand it in a more clear way. Else you can send me back your feedback and I will clear it again for you if you do not understand. Now we were talking about the second use of present perfect tense. Here I am writing the second use of present perfect tense for you. The reason of the second use of present perfect tense is in adverb clause of time when the main clause is in future tense. Now, why I am writing it? Example, we shall stay here till the teacher has returned. For your help, I am writing one more example here. When the heat has lessened, I shall go out. Now see it carefully. We shall stay here. It is independent clause. It is in future tense. When the main clause is in future tense, we call independent clause as main clause also. We shall stay here till the teacher has returned. Teacher is the subject, has is the auxiliary verb, and return is the verb third form of return. I have made this sentence in adverb clause of time when the main clause of is in future tense. Main clause is in future tense. Second sentence I have written in present perfect tense. I know it is confusing to understand, but if you listen me carefully, you will get to know. Second sentence, when the heat has lessened, I shall go out. Again, I shall go out is the main clause which is in future tense. Shall is there, future tense, and the independent clause I have written in the present perfect tense. This is the second use in adverb clause of time when the main clause is in future tense. Now I am writing third use of present perfect tense for you, and third use is with repeated actions. For example, we have visited Jaipur for many times. What I meant by it, here we have visited Jaipur for many times. It means again and again it's a repeated action. With repeated action I am using my present perfect tense. In the present continuous tense or in the present simple tense, you won't find any such use where you can write this sentence in both of the previous tenses. Present perfect is there because the action has already completed of visiting the Jaipur. Now we have visited Jaipur for many times. Let me add on this for you. Never and ever I have to tell the time. When it is not necessary to tell the time of the action, but it's a repeated action, I use present perfect tense. Next one is fourth one is to denote a state. For example, I have always known about you. I subject, have auxiliary verb, known you known. Known is the third form. To denote a state, I am telling a state of mind that I have always known about you. Action is already completed and has its impact in the present also. Last one is with, since or for. Of course, to denote the time. For example, I have studied for 10 hours. I have studied for 10 hours. It is telling me the time. Since I used for fixed time, whereas for I used for a period of time. Point of time. Since for a point of time which is a fixed time, I can say I have studied since 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is a point of time. At dot 2 o'clock I have started studies, and for a period of time which is a duration, for 10 hours, for 9 hours, for 8 or 10 hours, like this. So students, today what we have done, we have solved our yesterday homework. Apart from that, we have studied 5 uses of present perfect tense, and the most important part that we have studied an introduction of what is a sentence, a phrase and a clause. Now for your homework, you have to write this all from the video. You can pause the video and write it. Blackboard is very much clear in the video. You can write it in your notebook. Kindly make the notebook. Everyday lessons you must write in your notebook. And after that you have to learn the 5 uses of present perfect tense. Though it is online class and time is less with us, so tomorrow I will come up again with the exercise of present perfect tense as we have solved in the previous 2 tenses, and whatsoever your doubts are there today for the present perfect tense will be cleared out tomorrow. If you have any, again I am telling, if you have any query, suggestion, advice, or if you need to ask anything, kindly contact us. I will come up again with the answer of your query. That is all for the day, class. Have a good day ahead. Thank you.